Well, I work for Tucker Red Media, and they are a digital media company that's located within Dunbarton. They are quite a multifaceted company in the fact that they do a lot of different work for a lot of different clients. So maybe got one day you're doing work for, say, a company like Ludden or T-Squared, and these are quite well-known construction-based companies. We also do smaller scale jobs wherein we'll maybe go to one of the local churches, rent a Bon Hill, and we'll record services for people who are unable to attend. So I started with the company in November, and around that time it was mostly being taken to sites, you know, hands-on practical work, sort of out of the frying pan out of the fire sort of thing, you know. It's the best way to learn. At Tucker Red Media, I am a production assistant by title, and that usually involves, you know, preparing equipment such as swapping lenses off cameras, arranging the tripods, batteries, audio devices that we might need for the job. And now, more recently, I've got into the more of the editing side of things. After working on both aspects of being a production assistant, I've now got a more well-rounded approach towards project creation and just the creative process in general. My favourite thing about working for Tucker Red Media is getting an insight into all the different projects that are going on in and around my area. No, not in the media sense of a project, but more like construction. You know, we've got places like microbreweries and COVID test manufacturing facilities, things you don't really get an insight into, so it's quite interesting to see production on that kind of scale. I've always been working, I've been working since I was about 14. I'd always dreamed of doing something more, like something more fulfilling. And that's what I found in media is just something, I think, comparative to, say, like being able to draw really well or being a photographer. It's something that you can envision. It's something you can go out and create and have it be faithful to your vision. So yeah, at one point during secondary school, I was offered to go part-time to college. From there, I studied TV production. It was something that as soon as I'd done it just clicked. It was so hands-on. It really instilled in me a desire to work in the media profession. It might sound simple, but I've always enjoyed just being behind the camera and getting down to the nitty-gritty and really just creating something. After college, I worked on a few wee projects and going, nothing really important, you know, just like that few things. But it's practice, and that's what's important, is just practicing. So unfortunately, lockdown left me unemployed. However, through that led to a golden opportunity of sorts. One day I went to the job centre, and what was posted up was a little job titled Production Assistant for Tucker Red Media. And I'd never expected a job in that kind of sector to be advertised in the job centre. However, quickly I applied, but the prerequisites for the application were to make a small short video introducing yourself and just kind of like showing off what you're kind of capable of. And yeah, so that was quite stressful, of course. But you know, needs must, and if you really have the drive for something like this, you will find yourself doing things that you didn't expect. You'll find yourself outside your comfort zone, really just working hard because you want to see some kind of benefit from it. I never expected to be in a role like this because originally when I first applied, unfortunately I was turned down for someone with more experience. However, a few months later I was offered another opportunity of a similar role, and I think that was in part due to keeping in touch with the people who run the company. If I were to give young people any kind of advice, it would be that, you know, you should definitely try and be agreeable. You should be able to work well under pressure. It's something that's important to this job because of the fast turnover rate for video edits and even just the amount of time you're allotted to work on a site in particular. So you've definitely got to be able to work well under pressure. You've definitely got to be enthusiastic. You've got to show that you are driven, that you want to be here, you want to be creating something. The type of training that a young person could expect to receive in a role similar to mine would be things like editing, data management, drone photography, videography. Some of these forms of training will be more structured, such as video editing, wherein you'll follow along with a pre-recorded lesson plan and replicate its projects. Whereas with videography, you might learn more on the field, like hands-on. You maybe be responsible for recording something. It might not be as important as the main camera. You might be given something like the B camera, but it's a brilliant experience. Some things that make my job unique are that it's a fairly laid-back work environment, and that you can listen to music, you can listen to podcasts while you're editing, provided that you're not editing the audio, of course. You know, we've got quite a wide range of different companies within the building. You know, we've got camera makers, chiropractors, gunsmiths. Like there's a lot of different mix. So it's interesting working alongside people like that. I would say as well that the wide range of projects is definitely a big plus. It's just the fact that you've got something almost something new every day to come in and edit to or sit down or actually go on site to, it's quite refreshing.